San Jose, turuan mo kaming maglingkod. O San Jose, gabay ka sa aming pagsunod sa kalooban ng Ama, sa kaligtasan ng lahat, binabanal ng may likha. Ang iyong pagiging Ama, O San Jose.
Magandang umaga po sa kanilang lahat, lalong-lalo na po sa lahat po ng sumusubaybay ng Memories of the Heart. Mga pagninilay po sa araw ng linggo at ganun din po daily reflections about human life. Saint Peter's Key, divine portrait, not about his capacity but about God's fidelity. Brothers and sisters, we know the use of key, how important it is to a person. The first thing that I received in the mission was a key to our house and to my own room. Many times, unfortunately, I forgot my key and it posed me a lot of problems. I cannot enter to our convent and to my own room. Now, this Sunday, Jesus handed a divine portrait to Peter. Saint Peter is holding the key. The first reading shows how the Lord replaces Shebna, a corrupt governor, with Eliakim, who in the Lord's name exercises the power of the key of King David. This also foreshadows about the future of Saint Peter, as Christ entrusted the safeguard of His church to His person. In many ways, it's amazing that Christ selected him as the leader of the church, because his record would not even have impressed his own contemporaries. By human reckoning, he was a disastrous choice and should never been appointed. You could hardly describe him as a stable person, because at times he was so brave, while on other occasions he displayed a complete cowardice. Kung ilalagay po natin sa konteksto o kinapapauloban nating sitwasyon ang pagpili ni Jesus kay San Pedro, parang bababa po siya dun sa taal. Hahanap po ng mga mahihina at mga makasalanang mangingisda at gagawin niya pong pundasyon ng kanyang simbahan, ito pong si San Pedro, na hindi naman ganung kataas ang qualities o characteristics para maging leader. Parang mali sa pananaw ng tao, pero sa kanyang pananaw ay tamang-tama po ito pagdating ng panahon. We will remember during Christ's arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was hot-headed and with his sword cut off the soldier's ear. Sometime later, in Pilate's courtyard, when taunted by a servant girl, he was so weak that he denied ever knowing Christ, just to save his own life. Yet on the road to Caesarea Philippi, Jesus appointed him as the leader of the Christian community. His call to lead was the most important step in the development of the church. Christ had confidence in him, released a great power within his being, and entrusted him with a mission which was crucial for the continuation of his work on earth. The choice of Saint Peter as head of the church is an example of the power of God at work, using the weak things of this world to confound the strong. Before his encounter with Christ, Peter's life had a little meaning. On our journey as Christ's followers, it is a source of great comfort that God has invited us to be members of His church built upon the rock of Peter. We listen attentively throughout the years to His voice, because the promise Jesus made to Peter. Brothers and sisters, there's a very human aspect to Peter's life story to which we can easily relate. His weakness and moments of betrayal are commonplaces in our lives. However, his deep-seated trust in the person of Christ more than compensates for any failure, as will a similar trust on our part. The question put by Jesus to Peter, "Who do you say that I am?" Sino ba ako para sa iyo? Resulted in a very inspiring declaration of faith. In the second reading, St. Paul highlights the unsearchable ways of God and the superiority of His plan is beyond our human comprehension. Brothers and sisters, I realize that when God has a divine plan for a person, He really capacitates that person to fulfill His commanded mission. He doesn't only call those capacitated like what He did to Saint Peter. Hindi niya lang po tinatawag ang mga karapat-dapat, pero ginagawa niya pong karapat-dapat lagi ang lahat po ng kanyang tinatawag. Hayaan niyo pong ibaba ko po ito sa personal na karanasan ng tao. Meron pong isang bata noon na minules siya nung siya'y bata. Dalawa lang po ang pinupuntahan ng taong minumules siya. Either nasisira ang kanyang buhay, naging addict po siya sa tinatawag na sex, o nagiging predator po siya. Siya din po nagiging suspect. Ang minamahal ko mga kapatid, this person transformed his wounds to be a better person. At ngayon po ang taong ito ay tagapagtatag na po ng marami pong the feast. Ito po ay tinatawag na feast builder. Ang tinutukoy ko pong tao na nakakatulong ng napakaraming mga tao para lumapit sa Diyos sa pamamagitan po ng kanyang mga pinagdaanan, madilim na nakaraan. Ang tinutukoy ko pong tao walang iba kundi si Brother Boss Sanchez. Sa kanya pong nakaraan ay sirang-sira na po ito dahil sa nangyari sa kanya, pero God has a better and many plans for him in the future. At ibinigay po sa kanya ang divine portrait na ngayon po ay nasa kanya na. The divine portrait that Jesus gave to Simon was so far away from the former knowledge that he had to himself. He failed Jesus many times, a weak apostle, a total coward in the midst of total danger. He had no future to be one of the greatest foundation of the church. That was the standard of many during the time to Simon. But here it is. Jesus said to him with full of conviction, "I say to you, you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of the netherworld shall not prevail against it." Brothers and sisters, God doesn't look at Simon's weaknesses or big mistakes, but He looks at the original beauty He created in the personhood of Peter. Being the greatest and strongest foundation of the church doesn't only refer to his own capacity, but to God's fidelity to him. Each of us has its own divine portrait coming from God, like Saint Peter. This only means that God, who is in control, the Word can back up who we are according to our weaknesses, to our failures, to our past sins. But it is God who knows that we still have great future ahead of us. Saint Peter was not called by man, but he was called by God. All is grace. No one is loved by God because of personal wholeness or personal goodness. God loves us because He is love Himself. Period. Indeed, is there anything good that we have that we did not receive from God? It is indeed humbling to know that no one is really worthy only God can make us less worthy. Wala naman po talagang karapat-dapat sa harapan ng Diyos. Pero maganda po dito, sa gitna po ng ating mga kahinaan, ginagawa niya po ang karapat-dapat ng mga tao para matupad po ang misyon na iniatang niya po sa ating mga balikat. God doesn't focus on our frailty as human, but on our glorious destiny, a divine portrait that we should always remember and be thankful. Huwag po sanang natin bibitawan ang litrato po na iniatang sa atin ng Diyos, ang tinatawag na divine portrait, kasi nandun po yung ating kinabukasan. Isang araw po may isang pamilya po na meron po silang electric fan na kanilang pinapahalaga sa napakaraming taon. At para po sa kanila, ito po may sentimental value ayon sa kanila. Pero parang sa iba po ay hindi na po sentimental value, kundi centennial value. Kasi parang 100 taon na po yung electric fan. Isang araw po nung nasira po ito, ang ginawa po ng miyembro ng pamilya ay pinagawa po ito sa isang technician. At nang binuksan na po yung electric fan ay sumasabit pa rin. Plok, 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 plok. Habang naikot, nagkakagulo sila. Ang sabi naman ng isang miyembro pa ng pamilya, mali ang pinagdalhan nating technician. Ibigay niyo sa akin, dadaling ko sa pinakamagaling na technician dito sa ating community. Kaya nung dinala na po ito, pinaayos, at binuksan na po uli, ay meron pa rin pong sabit. Tong, 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 tong. Napakaingay. Wala mong makakatulog sa ganong klaseng ingay ng electric pan na yun habang naikot. Kaya sabi ng isa ay, bigay niyo sa akin yan at dadaling ko ito sa isa pang technician. Ito'y wala na itong palpak. Pulido na ito. At nung binuksan po uli, ay yun pa rin po yung ugong naman. Habang naikot. Malakas nga, pero malakas din po yung ugong na hindi sila makatulog. Habang nagkakagulo po yung mag-anak, brothers and sisters, ang kinilang pong isang bata, ang bunsong anak, ay pinipilit pong basahin ito pong pangalan ng electric fan. Ang sabi po ng bata sa kanyang sarili ay Hi, Tachi. Hi, Tachi. Hi, Tachi. Hitachi. At nagkatinginan po ang bumag-anak sa bata. Hitachi. Brothers and sisters, what's my point? This is my simple point. If there is something wrong in your life, go back to your divine manufacturer because He holds your divine portrait. Kapag may mali po sa ating buhay, ang babalikan po natin ay ang Diyos dahil Siya lang po ang makakaayos ng buhay natin. Kapag nasira po yung ating Canon na camera, dalhin po natin sa kumpanya ng Canon. Kapag nasira po yung ating Nokia, dalhin po natin sa Nokia dahil sila lang nakakaalam kung paano gagawa, etc., etc. In the end, brothers and sisters, no matter what might happen in between, do not lose your divine portrait coming from God. Wag na wag po natin itapon at iwawala iyon. In the end, brothers and sisters, I would like to highlight, if there is something wrong in your life, go back to your divine manufacturer, God, because He holds our divine portrait. At Siya lang po ang makakaayos ng ating buhay. Isang magandang umaga po sa kanilang lahat. And don't forget, Saint Joseph loves you and your family.
O San Jose, turuan mo kaming maglingkod. O San Jose, gabay ka sa aming pagsunod sa kalooban ng Ama, sa kaligtasan ng lahat, binabanal ng may likha. Ang iyong pagiging Ama, O San Jose, San Jose, O San